let's talk more about these confidential documents, because we lambasted Trump when we spoke about that. And at that time, I pointed out any regular person in the military with a security clearance who got caught with this would be in front of a doggone military tribunal.
If I got caught with these documents, I would have gotten the electric chair without going to court. This is absolute nonsense. What's going on?
Exact CIA fucking black site, nigga.
Right.
And everybody you know.
I'd be at Guantanamo. I'd be at the bottom of Guantanamo right now if I had just like confidential documents in like my boiler room next to the cat litter. I mean, what is wrong with this country? Here is my understanding of the timeline of events with regard to Biden's administration and the quote unquote classified documents. So apparently, back in November, but possibly sooner, and even highly likely that it was before the midterm elections, and intentionally so, documents were initially found in Biden's personal possession, and this information was intentionally not released because of the midterm elections. Nonetheless, in early December, a few classified documents were found by Biden's lawyers in an office that Biden had used when he was working in a Washington think tank when he was already out of office. However, they automatically notified the White House's counsel's office and notified the National Archives and Records Administration and immediately returned the documents. Then NARA, which is the National Archives and Records Administration, notified the Justice Department. And within the week, the FBI and the Justice Department began assessing the situation to determine the extent of the damage of Biden having this material. I guess upon their search, a small number of classified documents, in addition to the first set of documents that was found by Biden's lawyers, were found in his Delaware house. Having said that, it was in the garage with his most prized possession, which is known to be his Corvette. And I don't know if that should bring us comfort or not, but nonetheless, that's where the documents were found. And after another search of the Biden's home again, they turned over everything else that they found to the Justice Department. And the Biden his staff completely worked with the Department of Justice, which is probably one of the distinctions of the handling of this in comparison to how Trump and his people handled this, if there is a comparison to be made at all. Continuing down the timeline, if you compare it to Trump, he found documents found in May of 2021. The National Archives and Records Administration notified Trump's lawyers that 24 boxes of original records were missing and seemed to have been retained by Trump. Between May and December of 2021, NARA had to continue requesting those documents from Trump. So that fact is one distinction between the handling of the documents once they were discovered between the presidents.
Mm-hmm.
According to my information, the boxes included more than 700 pages marked classified national security, up to the level of top secret and including sensitive compartmented program and special access program materials. Some documents are returned in shreds and have been torn up by the Trump administration and his staff, and the most classified documents were mixed in with ordinary documents, clothes, and other objects. NARA immediately alerted the FBI. So what do you make of that distinction in response time? And on the heels of that, it has just come out today that there are documents found in Mike Pence's personal possession as well. What say you, Jay?
I think the same punishment that anybody else found with these classified documents, any regular person would have been subject to, should also extend to the current president, the former president, and the former vice president, and anybody else who is caught with classified fucking documents.
According to CNBC, lawyers for former Mike Pence said a small number, so we don't know what the exact number is yet, of classified documents were found in his Indiana home. They were discovered on January 16th after Pence allegedly had outside counsel search his home and records out of an abundance of caution.
He had outside counsel search his home. He didn't know where his own classified documents were. You got that many classified documents that you need somebody else to go in there and find them for you?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's out of pocket on this, and no side should be throwing rocks at anybody when everybody seems to be out of pocket. And what I don't understand is how come nobody noticed these documents were missing till now? How important could these documents be if nobody knew they were gone?
Yeah, what the fuck is up with the chain of custody?
Yes, and how are they able to just walk out with that? I mean, people walk out with a flash drive from a computer and get, thrown down to the ground by black ops. How do these people walk out with boxes of information and nobody's like, "Hey, what's that?"
Yeah, and we should, point out there are different levels of classified. There's, secret, top secret, then SCA, secure, compartmentalized. I forget what the A is for. But that's essentially the need to know basis, right? I'm sure there are other levels of classification that regular people just don't know about. That's just what I was able to find on Google. Okay.
Right.
How is it that you have anything that's classified as any of those levels, secret, top secret, or SCA, and you need someone else to go in there? You can't expect us to believe that this was a small amount, but you don't exactly know where it is. So, hey, go in there and just look around and all my stuff and just check and see. Wait one doggone minute. Like, that means you aren't treating this with the care that it needs to be treated with. Either that or classified doesn't mean what we all think it means. And it's just not that important.
Everybody has egg on their face, so everybody needs to stop throwing stones.
Right.
And again, this is why I don't believe in any of these people. This is why career politicians shouldn't have career politician jobs. We need to clean house on both sides. This is absolute nonsense. This is an absolute disregard for the rule of law. This is poor etiquette. And I don't even understand how anybody's saying anything. Right now, everybody should just be quiet because everybody's wrong and focus on just getting their ducks lined up. It's disgusting.
Yeah, if the Democrats were more strategic before they started leaking this to the press, this stuff.
Somebody might have said, "Hey, anybody want to do a quick search and grab for Biden before we start seeing Gaga in the news of the Trump administration just to find out that there are boxes of shit under his Corvette?"
Yeah, just maybe somebody should just do a quick check.
Especially because he's been looking real shaky lately.
You got all these staffers. Come on. Nobody in that reports up to the chief of staff thought maybe, like, as this is becoming a story with Trump, somebody should do a quick check with Biden just to make sure.
It's shameful. And honestly, I wish he had the dignity to just step down at this point. And I really wish we'd stop talking about Trump. Like, can we just move on? Are these the only two human beings in the planet that can lead us to the next level of humankind? Is this it? These two?
That's the thing about American culture war. It turns, our politicians only offer us culture war bullshit instead of actual solutions, thus turning themselves into demagogues. And so they are celebrities. They're not just politicians. They're not leaders. They are
right.
You're the face of whatever side of the culture war you're on. And so people have to pick a side. They have to love the side that they're on and the representative of that. Regardless of what they do, they have to defend it.
Well, it's stifling healthy dialogue about issues that are meaningful. It's stifling creativity. It's stifling finding the connections between people who on the surface appear different from one another. It's making politics boring, if not just straight out trash. And I don't understand how, like, we as a society have just accepted this nonsense as our reality. I mean, it's like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, throwing it at the wall and going, vote for this. I mean, how many times we're going to let these people pee on our head and we're going to stand there like it's raining with an umbrella?
It's ridiculous.
Nonsense. Yeah. This country's getting what it settles for. Apparently what it's settling for is the likes of this whack job from Long Island. This guy has lied about his name. He's lied about where he's gotten his funding from. He's lied about his mother being in 9/11. He lied about her dying there. He lied about being on a volleyball team at Baruch College. He lied about having knee replacement surgery. He lied about being robbed in the city. I mean, this guy lies about the color of rice. And somehow he bamboozled enough people to slide his ass into a representative of a city like New York.
Yeah.
I want no part of this. Good luck, Earth.
Yeah. And that's more of a comment on the people who voted for him than it is on him.
I mean, he pretended to be Jewish. His
Yep.
family's from Brazil. He lied about working with Goldman Sachs. I mean,
Yep.
now there's pictures of him allegedly performing in drag that he says was not him. But I mean, where does it stop?
Okay, now he started off saying it wasn't him. Then a whole bunch of these Brazilian drag queens went and said, wait a minute, bitch, we've got receipts on receipts on receipts. And so now he's
Bitch,
saying,
we got photos.
yeah, he's saying, I was young and I just enjoyed myself at a festival. So it's funny how.
Oh, is that what we do at festivals when we're young? We dress up in drag?
Right. You're not a drag
And
queen.
that's fine.
You're young and you're enjoying yourself at a festival. But if anybody else does drag, there are all kinds of horrible things. They're a groomer and whatnot.
Right. And it's strange too that he's LGBT and yet was recently divorced from a woman right before he ran for office.
Oh yeah, is he claiming to be gay, or is he embracing the fact that he's probably bi, or was he gay this whole time and he was just on the down low with this woman? Like what?
Will we ever know? Because the lies come so fast and furious. It's like you can't keep track of them. It's like Neo. At a certain point, how many of these bullets can you dodge? Because it literally seems like he lies about everything, including the taste of air.
Yeah, if the Republicans had one bit of credibility,
right?
Or
so what leg do they have to stand on at this point to even denounce this nonsense? This is what they've encouraged with all those whack jobs that they have as part of their party at this point. Well, here's another one added to the crate.
Yeah, why aren't you demanding that this person resign? And it's solely because you know what? He's going to sit.
They need him.
We need him, and he's going to be a loyal culture warrior. We don't care if he's a hypocrite. Is he going to vote?
Help us win.
Yeah, he's going to come out here and be a culture warrior for us. He's going to vote against women's autonomy. He's going to vote against everything else that we want him to vote against, and we don't care about it.
It's shameful, and I hope at some point we snap out of it and do better. But apparently, we're not going to do better right now. So hold on to your hats, America. It's going to be a ride. Stay tuned on this episode of Raw Food.